Good afternoon, good evening, and good morning from wherever you are, and welcome to the Lost Companions podcast. It's a working title. If everyone else likes it, we'll stick with it. If not, we can always change it. Everything's up in the air, much like my underwear. Saying that, today we are going to be talking about, well, not me particularly, because I'm not the big Who fan. I am the outsider. We are going to give the floor to the Whovians to tell us their 10 or thereabouts favorite Doctor Who episodes. I am joined, we are a full panel today. We are hoping for one other person to join us. If not, tough shit on them. But saying that, I've got Gaz, Major Rage, Alexia, and Lord Donkey, hoping you are all well. And because this is a heck of a lot of stuff to talk about, we're going to get straight into it. And Gaz is very good at breezing through this. So, Gaz, if you want to start us with your favorite Doctor Who episodes, take the floor.
Do you want me to do 10 to 1 or 1 to 10?
10 till 1, and then other people can chime in their thoughts on those episodes as well. And if nobody's got anything else to say, you can just carry on to the next one.
Okay, so some of these are throughout the run. So I tried to ignore the Russell T Davies run because you obviously have seen that. So at number 10, we have Resurrection of the Daleks. At number 9, The Three Doctors, because everyone loves a good, assembling of like past characters, and it had Pertwee, it had Troughton, and it had Hartnell. Even though Hartnell wasn't really there because he was like really really ill at the time, but he was there and badass on him. Number 8, The Macra Death. I really like this one. This is, I think it's Colin Baker episode, and he gets a lot of bad shit. I don't agree with it. Number 7, The 10th Planet. Now I'm a huge Cyberman fan, so I thought I'd have the first one where they have the first interaction with the 10th Planet. Number 6, The Sea Devils. Now this episode scared the fuck out of me when I was really really young. So so I thought I'd bring it up. Now it might look a bit ropey because the special effects aren't the greatest, but the kind of atmosphere is great. I love it. Number 5, City of Death. I love this because this is the reason I hate. What's the thing? The ones with the weird suits and the fat people that turn into aliens. I can't remember what they're called.
Slevene?
Yeah, that's one. That's the reason. This is the reason I hate it. This is how they do alien invasion stories correctly. Right, number four, Terror of the Autons, because this is the first one with the Master, especially Roger Delgado, who is the best. Best one. Number 3, State of Decay, because I'm a huge horror fan, and this is like a horror kind of themed episode. Number 2, Demons. I love this episode. Okay. It's just like it's really good. It deals with a lot of like mythology and like beliefs and stuff like that. It's really good. And number 1 for me, the best episode and it's probably very populist, is Justice of the Daleks. Just amazing 6 episodes of just if you want to know why the Daleks are scary, this is one of the best episodes in my opinion to understand why.
And under whose run was that? Which
Tom
Doctor
Baker.
was that?
Tom Baker.
Oh, Tom Baker. Okay. All right, lovely list there, Gaz. What are you guys' thoughts on Gaz's top 10?
I have solid choices. Oh, sorry, Donkey. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say they're all solid choices. Some of my I like all those episodes. The Three Doctors really stands out. It's on my classics list as well. And I gotta say, I agree with your statement about Colin Baker getting too much shit. Guess that's.
Yeah, I would agree with that too. I've only seen about maybe half of those. I've not gotten to dive into Classic Who nearly as much, so mine are all New Who, but I did have a list with some of the classics, and the Three Doctors is on there.
Nice. Great. Okay. Alexia, have you got anything to add, or should I move on to the next person's?
Obviously, Genesis of the Dalek is kind of one that I'm glad Gary did it, because I decided to do no duplicate Doctors, and I picked a different one for the Fourth Doctor. which actually is one of my all-time favorites. So, but in fact, that's my number one. So,
All right,
and-
save your list for when we get
Okay.
to you.
but
It's
that's
just
the
thoughts
thing.
on Gaz's.
Yes, I'm just saying. But yes, Genesis of the Daleks is it's generally either voted number one or number two in any poll of Doctor Who fans. There's a consensus behind that. So yes, a very solid list. I don't think there were any duplicates there. And yeah, that's all I have to say.
All right, lovely. Okay, Mage, we will move on to you.
I thought we were doing a modern list, so my 10 are modern,
Oh,
but
no.
I have
All
a
time.
good all time. Oof. Okay. Let me.
Time, maybe. Who the heck? Where did you get the idea for modern?
I
Was it
don't
Gary?
know.
Did he confuse you?
Yeah. I asked if it was just one or the other, and I
time.
got
No,
confused
yeah.
all time. Then I've got some from each, so I'll just make a hybrid list out of my two lists
Sure,
real
no
quick.
problem.
Number 10, I'm going to put the 11th Hour. I feel like it's a great jumping on point for a new Whovian. It's a good introduction to the concept of the character and just what the show is about in one 50-minute little package.
Cool.
Also, I'm a big 11 fan. We're gonna go with Vincent and the Doctor.
Ooh.
Rose, which is the first of the 2005 run, introducing the Eccleston Doctor. Once again, phenomenal job of just introducing the concept and the character. Like one of Eccleston's best speeches is in that episode. I'm gonna do Heaven Sent / Hell Bent. It's a 12th Doctor story with Peter Capaldi, and I feel like it is a strong example of when they do the kind of causality loops right. And I feel like kind of the time travel aspects are good in that one. Shada, the unfinished 4th Doctor story, written by the incredible Douglas Adams.
Okay.
Trial of a Time Lord.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, just the whole season, the best example ever, I think, of a sci-fi having an overarching plot season arc. The 5 Doctors anniversary special.
Oh, that was a more recent one, wasn't it?
No,
10 years.
20th anniversary special. So it's a classic era special. Yeah, with
Right. Okay.
the first 5 Doctors, it was the first time we saw somebody kind of step into the role of the first Doctor after Hartnell's passing. What am I up to?
I think that was your. I think that was 6. So
6. Okay. Girl in the Fireplace, a 10th Doctor story.
That's a good one.
I don't know.
The Human Nature, which was originally written as a 7th Doctor story, but ended up being a 10th Doctor story.
Oh, interesting.
And it's one of the ones on my list that the Doctor doesn't realize he's the Doctor for a lot of the episodes. So I feel like it's cool that you're seeing a human kind of side to the character for the majority of that 2-parter.
Great.
The nitty gritty. Silence in the Library / Forest of the Dead introduces River Song, which she's a pretty important character for the rest of the time Moffat's involved with the show. Dalek,
Ooh.
the first New Who Dalek episode, I feel like that's one of Eccleston's standout performances, and one of the examples of how he might be the best of the modern Doctors at acting dark and brooding.
And your number one?
Number 1 is Number one of all time. Oh, God. It's not the.
It's tough.
Good stuff. I can't.
Well,
It's so tough.
It's so
Because what I
tough.
like doing these lists, they always rack with people's brains. Where's that countdown timer?
Yeah, give me the Jeopardy music. We'll just go with Empty Child / the Doctor Dances.
Okay. All right. So, people, what are your thoughts on Mage's Rage? Donkey, I'll go to you first.
So Vincent, Silence in the Library, and the Empty Child are also on my list.
Awesome. Doesn't matter if you've
And
got crossover. it's all
Dalek
good.
made my short list. It was so hard to narrow it down. A lot of good choices, a lot of good ones that I didn't know that about the Tom Baker or the Colin Baker story with human nature.
Yeah, why
I'm-
did they
Or was
shelve that?
I miss? If I said that was written for Colin, I misspoke. It was written for Sylvester McCoy's Seventh Doctor. I
Oh, okay.
apologize if I misspoke.
Oh, it's
on that.
okay. Close enough. One number off.
Yeah, it's one
Um,
number off.
Still, it was
Why
meant
did they
for a
shelve
classic
it?
Doctor.
Yeah. Is that because the series had ended and so they didn't make that episode? Is that
Mhm.
what it was?
It got left on. Michael Grade cut it. He didn't like the story.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, Michael Grade
Okay.
hated Doctor Who.
So why the fuck did they
Pretty
make him the showrunner for then? Was he the showrunner?
Fans have been
right?
asking. He was, yeah. Fans have been asking that question since the show. He got the show canceled.
What a treat. Jesus Christ.
And he won the United States Doctor Who Association Horse's Ass Award.
That's a valid award. That's a valid award, I'd say. All right, sweet. Okay, Alexia, we can go to your list next. And don't worry if there's crossover with other people. It's all good.
Yeah, quite a few bits of crossover in that one. Right,
Yeah.
so number 10, I actually have The Girl in the Fireplace, which is one of my favourite David Tennant. And I think I may not be objectively better than other David Tennant ones, but there's a lot of tough competition.
Your speech is still a bit. Sorry, Alexia, you're a bit muffled.
Right. Okay, I'll go into settings again.
Oh, hang on. Now I can hear you better.
Oh,
I think it's how close you are to the mic, I think.
Yeah, you need to be closer to your mic. That's what it is.
Right. Okay. Right. I'll try to remember. Although you're going to get a weirder picture now. Right. Okay.
That's better.
Right. Okay. So, let's see. Right. So, Girl in the Fireplace is one I enjoy the most. And it's one I'd recommend as a standalone story to somebody who's new, and it's a great time travel story.
Okay.
And a Mothman, some great monsters. Right. I also have The Empty Child. Excuse me, Child. It's The Empty Child / The Doctor Dances, two-parter. I've mentioned that. And everything about it is awesome. It's a perfectly written story, perfectly constructed. They really capture World War II and the Blitz, even though it's not really about that. I also love Florence Host, a great actor who sadly retired young, but she is still involved in the fandom. But her performance is one of the best one-off performances in all of Doctor Who. Oh, for those who look confused, that's Nancy, Florence Host. She's excellent in that episode. That's my number 9. 8, it's Vengeance on Varos. And I also love Pearl of the Time Lord, but then it's 14 episodes. Technically 4 stories. 3 and the framing device. But anyway, Vengeance on Varos, I think, is the best of the standalone Colin episodes. I think generally considered to be the best. And socially relevant today, I think, as it kind of was at the time. The Caves of Androzani, because for Peter Davison, it's either going to be Earthshock or it's going to be Androzani. And Caves of Androzani, I think, objectively is his best, and it's his best performance as the Doctor. At number 6, The Mind Robber, which is an early example of Doctor Who doing essentially fantasy. Suppose you could count the Toymaker. It's gone into it's no longer definitely not hard science fiction. And it's very imaginative. When I first saw it as a kid, and obviously it doesn't appeal to kids, which people who've seen it will understand. But I still love it as an adult, even if some of it may be a bit silly. Number 5 is my absolute favourite Kirkwood, which has changed, but I realised the Time Warrior, which I just love so much. And there's a recurring monster who you will be introduced to in the Time Warrior. The first time you see. Number 4 is the Aztec, which may be my favourite Hartnell and one of my favourite historical. The only possible problem there is technically they do brownface, but it's a 60th episode and the Aztecs died out 5 centuries earlier, but no, they don't have any Central American actors. Number 3 is Battlefield, which I think is an overlooked or underrated 7th Doctor story. I just love Battlefield. I really enjoy it. That's the Ben Aronovich one. Number 2, I have Vincent and the Doctor, which might be the best historical of New Who, and I think everything about it is just superb. I wish there were more episodes like it. In fact, I wish they'd actually done a Newton episode as well as they did Vincent and the Doctor. And number 1 is my favourite Tom Baker and possibly my favourite of the Battle series, City of Death. A script by Douglas Adams, Julian Glover as the villain, shooting on location in Paris, which I think was the first time they did a foreign location shoot. And the script, or did I say a script by Douglas? Douglas Adams writing for Tom Baker, which you get a superb magic. And Tom Baker and Lalla Ward's chemistry is so awesome because at this point they're already engaged and still in love. And just everything about that story sparkles. It's so fun. You're not bored for a single second. There's not a dull moment. So, treat there.
Okay, that was Alexia's list. Mage, given your facial expressions, I'll go to you first. What did you think of Alexia's list?
Absolute bangers, every last one. Just the Aztecs was one of my classic stories that was on there. Wonderful historical. Just the early companions, the 2 teacher companions shine so heavily in that episode, just so bright. I love those characters. Barbara and Ian.
Yep.
The first companions. Chesterfield. He always killed me when he'd call him the wrong name. Just City of Death. I can't believe that when I overlooked it when I was putting mine together. That is an amazing story. I couldn't agree more with that. Yeah, I'll pass it off.
Okay. Gaz, I'll go to you next.
Yeah, I agree. Most of the episodes Alexia mentioned was absolutely great. Like, I don't think there's one that I disagree with. Vincent and the Doctor is an amazing episode. Deals with but I didn't really want to go into the modern era just because with this going back, I would rather go backwards and look at different eras and stuff like that just to pull through them. But you're a very, very solid list, Alexia.
All right, and Lord Donkey.
Yeah, a couple. I have seen the Aztecs. One of the other ones I think I've seen, but I think what I want to do is if we all share our lists together, I want to go back and watch some of the classic episodes you guys have been talking about. I'll sign up for BritBox for a month and knock those out. So
Yeah, put the list. We'll put the list in the Facebook message
Yeah,
group,
yeah.
and you lot can just go back and pick each other's lists. No problem.
But
Yeah.
yeah, that and Empty Child is another one that the three of us agreed on. So good list.
Great. And so, what I'm going to do once the lists are posted is I'll go and watch everyone's favorite episode and give my thoughts on those as well. And it's kind of a good way of me to just kind of jump in and watch some of the classics. It gives me an excuse to jump in and watch some of the classics and that. Now, Simon was meant to join us, but he's having technical issues with his iPad or laptop. But he's posted the list, and Gaz is going to read out Simon's favorite Doctor Who, starting with number 10. Gaz, please.
Lord Donkey, did you do your list?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you can go ahead.
Oh shit! No, hang on. No, sorry, Lord Donkey. You bloody hell.
Okay.
Thank you, Gaz. Thank you, mate. That's why Gaz is a great moderator. He remembers everything. Sorry, Lord Donkey. Your list first.
Okay. Well, again, mine's all new Who. I've got a couple of honorable mentions from classics, but we've already talked about those. So at number 10, I have The Doctor's Wife.
Okay.
Really good 11th Doctor story in the Pocket universe, and it shows how he can just go dark so quickly because he thinks he has hope and it's taken away from him. Love that he gets to meet the TARDIS in that episode. I actually have a conversation with her. Next is Fires of Pompeii. We get to see Peter Capaldi for the first time and Karen Gillan in that episode. It's a really good Donna and Ten story. Next, I have Vincent and the Doctor. That's a really good one, I think, to show people who aren't necessarily fans. It really captures the whole formula. You know, we're going back to the past. We meet Vincent. There's a monster. We bring Vincent to the future, and the payoff at the end of that episode where he's in the art gallery is so good. So if you're trying to hook a friend who's not a fan yet, that's a good one, I think. 7, I have Twice Upon a Time.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I really like 12. And it's a really good, it's with David Bradley as the first Doctor, where both of them don't want to regenerate, and they're in World War I during the ceasefire at Christmas. So
Christmas Eve.
yeah, so really good multi-Doctor story. Next up, I have The Runaway Bride. I'm a big Donna fan, so her introduction to the show. Then I have The End of Time with 10, 1 and 2. Also, because I love Wilfred. Wilfred gets to be a companion in that episode. He said, "You're not leaving me with her." With
That
Sylvia.
moment.
So, so I have that at number 5. Number 4, I have The Day of the Doctor. I have this because it fixes the Time War. So End of Time, we see the Time Lords, we see Rassilon, we see the High Council, they're doing their plotting. In The Day of the Doctor, they mention, the High Council's doing their plotting, and leave them to their schemes. We're on the War Council, and they're the ones that deal with the Doctor in The Day of the Doctor. And I think it fixes the Time War, because what I like about some of the episodes on my list is one showrunner will start something and not necessarily do it well or finish it off or tie it off very well, but then the next person can come along and fix it. And that happens a lot. So I have that for The Day of the Doctor. Number 3, I have The Empty Child and the Doctor Dances. It's a really great villain because the villain is just fear of the unknown. they don't know what's wrong with this kid, and they don't find out until he's reunited with his mother, and then everybody lives. So it's probably my favorite Ninth Doctor story for sure. And then the last two here, there's a theme here. Silence in the Library, Forest of the Dead. And then my first number one is The Husbands of River Song. I'm a big River Song fan. And again, The Husbands of River Song fixes something, because with the 11th Doctor, there's a mini episode where he's with River in the TARDIS, and then they walk in, and so there's two Doctors and there's two River, and they're all confused, and they find out they had just been out, the other two are just going out, and he's taking me to Beryllium. And then he did. They don't get to show that on screen. They don't get to have that meaningful episode on screen. They just have it on the side. Oh, the Doctor took her to Beryllium. And then she dies, and she comes back in the conference call at the end of 11's run. And she doesn't really get a satisfying send-off until The Husbands of River Song. So, Moffat fixes what he had set up previously and gives River Song a really great send-off with a really good... I'm a sucker for Christmas episodes, I guess, because I have three. I have three on my list. I was born on Christmas, so that's fair. But it's a really great send-off for River. It's a really fun story, and it's one that I will watch again every Christmas.
Okay, great. Alexia, I'll go to you. Your thoughts on Lord Donkey's list?
I think that's a sound list. I didn't want. I mainly wanted to go to a standalone, but it's interesting because I haven't got a single Wilf story. But yeah, great to feature Wilf, and as you say, gets to be a companion. And yeah, there were so many great Donna ones, aren't there?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not as keen on Runaway Bride. I think Donna comes into her own more later.
Yeah.
The more developed Donna. And I'm not as keen on the Christmas special because I think End of Time Part 1 and 2 has got so much going on. But there's a lot there. And no, pretty fascinating.
Okay, Gaz, I'll go to you.
Yeah, really good list of Modern Who. If I was going to pick some Modern Who that I love, I think some of those would be in my list. Like, for example, The Empty Child is one of the best Who episodes of all time. The only one that people haven't mentioned, that I'm surprised hasn't been mentioned, Modern Who has been Blink, because everyone considers that to be pretty high.
I didn't.
It made my
wanna
short
be
list,
that
but-
guy that put Blink on their list. But
I will say I think Blink is a great episode. It's one of those Dr. Light episodes, though. It's heavy on the non-companions, but it is a very good episode.
it's an amazing episode. Handles time travel very well.
Mhm.
I feel like once again one of those things where all the causality ends up making sense in the end. You can't kind of poke a hole in it.
Yeah.
And
That is
introduces one of the biggest villains for modern Who
Yeah.
or monsters.
Yeah, so yeah, really good list, Lord Donkey. Yeah, really good stuff. And as I said, most of those are Modern Who. Again, I didn't want to do that with my list just because then GG can go through old Who. Because the thing is, with the iPlayer, all of it's on there. So I suppose.
Lucky Brits.
Yeah, well, come over here. Mage, what did you think of Donkey's?
Very solid list. We had the crossovers like Donkey, the overlap like Donkey mentioned before, and very solid list. I like that you picked Twice Upon a Time. I'm glad that a regeneration story made it on there. I didn't end up putting any regeneration stories on
Oh.
mine.
Oh yeah, that and End of Time, I guess. Yeah.
This is true. Yeah, that is Tensendorf. You're right. No, it's David Bradley does a phenomenal job playing the First Doctor. I'm a big First Doctor fan, so I liked getting to see more of him. I feel like it was really cool that they introduced the ancestor of the Brig, of Brigadier Lethbridge Stewart.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's a favorite character of mine. I love the
Gatiss.
Brig. Yes, Gatiss does a phenomenal job performing as him too. I like Gatiss's acting. I'm a big fan of his performances. So it's all
Mike Gatiss, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gatiss. Yeah, Gatiss.
Gatiss, sorry.
Gatiss, yeah. Gatiss. I
um
was a bit confused. I was like, Gatiss. I was like,
Gatiss.
That's all right. He's the guy that also wrote some of the episodes of the recent stuff,
Mhm.
yeah? Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
Mike
And
Gatiss.
some, yeah.
Great actor. Yeah, he League of Gentlemen and all that kind of stuff. Brilliant. Yeah, very funny as well when he does comedy. And that. But cool. All right. Gaz, we'll go to you for Simon's list.
Yes, so this is 10 to 1. We'll do Power of the Doctor. Number 9, Day of the Doctor. Number 8, The Time Meddler. Number 7, The Doctor's Wife. That seems to be quite popular over here.
Oh.
Number 6, Fires of Pompeii. That's a modern name.
Hey.
Number 5, Genesis of the Daleks.
Mm.
Number 4, The Sea Devils.
nice.
Number 3, The Demons.
Very nice.
Number 2, Curse of Fenric. And number 1, Ghostlight.
All right. Well, Gaz, we'll go to you for that list. Seeing as you've read it out, what are your thoughts on the list?
Really good list. There's a lot of classic Who with some modern stuff. Like I think Doctor's Wife, Dear Doctor are pretty modern stuff, and then the rest is like classic Who. So he's done a little bit of everything. It's a really good list. I'm pretty. Nothing I could really say. Oh, that's bad or that's good. No, most of it is really good.
Okay. Alexia, I'll go to you. Your thoughts on Simon's list?
Oh, yes, absolutely. And actually, could you refresh my memory slightly?
Yeah, Gaz, you want to read through those again?
Yeah, sure. So number 10, Power of the Doctor.
Mhm.
Number 9, Day of the Doctor. Number 8, The Time Meddler. Number 7, The Doctor's Wife. Number 6, Fires of Pompeii. Number 5, Genesis of the Daleks. Number 4, The Sea Devils. Number 3, The Demons. Number 2, Curse of Fenric. And number 1, Ghostlight.
Yes, all very good. I think Ghostlight, obviously, I didn't understand it as a kid because it's quite unfathomable. But it's very. And by the way, I did always love the atmosphere, the sort of ethos of it. And then The Doctor's Wife, I can't believe I overlooked it. Neil Gaiman really added to the lore in really great ways there. And it's got some really cracking team. The woman who played Idris is amazing. So yeah, I can't believe I even overlooked that. So, and there are a couple of people who said The Doctor's Wife.
I think was it on anyone
I
else's list? Yeah,
Yeah.
Lord Donkey.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Sorry, did you say Neil Gaiman?
Yeah.
Neil Gaiman wrote
He's
some
done a
really
couple, yeah.
Oh, right. Of the newer stuff or the older stuff, like from the
new
80s?
stuff.
Oh, I didn't know that. Interesting. All right.
He wrote a
awesome.
Cyberman story for 11. It's
Oh,
great.
Nightmare
I
in
can't.
Silver.
Yes, I should have.
That is a good one.
Oh, brilliant. Okay. Mage, your thoughts on Simon's list?
Simon's list is very solid. I want to I didn't talk about the Damons in response to Gaz's list when he had it on there. I want to
Go for it.
give some thoughts on it. I feel like it informs the Russell T Davies era of Who, and that if you've seen that particular classic episode, you kind of get his approach to his run of modern Who a lot better. It's his admittedly his favorite episode,
Oh,
He
okay.
loves the relationship between the Doctor and Joe Grant. He feels like that she loved the Doctor, and I feel like that informs a lot of the way he writes his companions, Rose and Martha especially. So it's foundational to modern Who and its resurrections. So I feel it is a must watch.
Okay, well, that's on the list. I'll probably start with that one then, so I can get a sense of Russell T Davis's who and where he's coming from. Lord Donkey, your thoughts on the list?
Again, a lot of stuff I'm not familiar with, so I'll be interested to get my classic subscription so I can watch some of these. But some good overlap too. I think he said Fires of Pompeii. Also.
He did, yes.
Yeah. So good stuff.
Okay, well, there you go. That is the panel's favorite Doctor Who episodes. I am going to set upon watching everyone's favorites and maybe a couple more extra ones, because why not? And on that note, is there anything else you guys would like to add?
Nobody picked the 96 movie?
Oh, yeah, we began completely, didn't we?
Come
Sorry,
on.
Alexia?
Oh, we left out Paul McGann completely, but the Eighth Doctor's only got 2 TV adventures. But actually, Gary, you did include a big
Listen.
one.
As far as mini episodes go, though, Night of the Doctor is very good. Where
Yes.
they show Paul regenerating. I loved it. Moffat was able to pull that off.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, there you go. Awesome. So, on that note, we will return possibly in 2 weeks' time after I've watched all the episodes, and we can go through that. And anything else you guys ever want to bring up, feel free, and we could just whack a podcast together. And I want to thank my panel for all their wonderful lists of episodes, and to anyone watching. And on that note, we be gone. Live long and prosper. I know it's a crap dad joke, but everyone.